The city of Morelia is one of the most beautiful and important tourist destinations in Mexico due to its invaluable cultural and historical heritage. It is considered the ideological cradle of the independence movement and is home to well-known international music and film festivals. History. The city was founded by Viceroy Don Antonio de Mendoza on May 18, 1541, with the original name of Nueva Ciudad de Michoacán, which changed to Valladolid in 1578. But since 1828, it has been called Morelia in honor of his son Don José María Morelos y Pavón, hero of the independence of Mexico. The Matlacincas people settled in the Huangaero Valley during the 40th and 50th centuries, in what is now Morelia, in a territory that was apparently granted to them as reward for having participated in the defense of the Purepecha Empire during the invasion of the Indians. As an indigenous population of the time, the evangelicals' footprint of Spain was decidedly noted. In this case, it was the Franciscans Fray Juan de San Miguel and Fran Antonio de Lisboa, who formed a catechism school called San Miguel, where they also the teaching of music and the arts in general was transmitted, among many other trades. With the exchange of cultures, a stage of remarkably flourish began for the Patsin-Yugin Valley, a place that years later would be designed by Viceroy Antonio de Mendoza as a point for the foundation of the city, which welcomed many Spaniards living on lands Michoacán. Since then, Valladolid has had a notable socio-cultural importance, not only for the evolution of the state of Michoacán, but for Mexico itself. Among the distinguished students of that the city were notable personalities who influenced the course of the national history, such as Don Miguel Hidalgo and Costilla, the Bonavista statesman Juan José Martín de Lejarza, Mariano Michelena, one of the founders of the independence movement, as well as to the heroic executors José María Morelos y Pavón and Agustín de Iturbide, Melchor Ocampo, main inspiring of the Ramon Louds in 1857, among many other distinguished characters. The best places to visit in Morelia. The first place you can visit in Morelia is the archaeological zone of Tzintzuntzan. The pre-Hispanic city of Tzintzuntzan was, without a doubt, one of the largest, most important towns upon the arrival of the Spaniards in the 60th century, being the capital of the Tarasco lordship, the place from which the most important political and economic decisions were made. Religious of a wide territory that covered almost the entire Michoacan state, parts of Guerrero, the Mexico state, Guanajuato, and Jalisco. In this city habit the Huazuquechas lords, Lords Aguila, leaders of this important manor who governed it through a hereditary dynasty. Tzintzuntzan was the city that contained the most important retail spaces, square, and jacatas, in addition to being the royal residence of the Iracha of Cazón. Pátzcuaro. Pátzcuaro, the gate of heaven, as its name translates, is one of the most beautiful natural settings. With its lacustrine vocation, this town seems to come out of the imagination. Mountains covered with pines, firs and junipers around the lake, houses of wood and dove, and some of the oldest monasteries and churches in the country. Pátzcuaro has two central squares and several smaller ones. The main square is a round of the 17th century mansion that faces the statue of Don Vasco de Quironga in the central fountain. In the second, called Plaza Gertrudis Bocanegra, there are the handicraft market, the library, and the Emperador Cancionero Theater. In each of these buildings, there are murals with the history of the state of Michoacán. The most important festivals in the region are the Dia de Muertos, November 1st and 2nd, when fishermen paddle across the lake to Janitzio Island in their candlelit canoes. Morelia's Cathedral. This cathedral is the most finished and monumental example of Baroque painting. The first stone was placed in the place where the apse would be erected in a solemn ceremony presided over by Bishop Fray Marcos Ramirez de Prado. on August 6, 1660, the day of the Transfiguration, a festival to which the cathedral is dedicated, reason by witches that represented plastically in the central relief of the main facade. Construction was completed and evidenced by the date engraved at the top of the main facade in the typical food, Michoacan-style carnitas. Dish prepared at any street stall in the state. This pork cooked in a large cupped cauldrons whose secret exquisite flavor is the pork cooked in sin-ounce lard. Shattered or curd carnitas are served in tacos with onions, cilantro, lemon juice, and sauces are your choice. Tarasca Soo, typical food from Michoacan that talks about the history of the area. To prepare it, red or better beans, tomatoes, white onion, garlic, epazote, chicken broth, pasilla, chiles, green cheese, sour cream, tortillas, and salt are used. The beans are cooked in the chicken broth with green garlic, salt, and onion. When they are ready, they are blended together with the tomatoes and the epazote. The soup is served in a deep dish to which are the tortilla strips, cooked chiles, grilled cheese, sour cream, and the dinner dishes, avocado slices. That's all of Michoacan State. Thank you for your attention.